Got to do a quick carbonation check. Make sure that it's, well, that's definitely carbonated, isn't it? Make sure it's tasting good. Check the carbonation, because this is now going to sit and rest for, what was it, about 3 weeks. And that looks mighty fine to me. It's a New England IPA. It's supposed to have a slight bit of haze. It's fruity, juicy. And oh so good. So that's an absolute result. It shouldn't be as carbonated as that one, the other bottles, because this was only a part bottle. It wasn't full all the way to the top, so that be that. Now, I decant all of my meads because they normally have a small amount of yeast deposit at the bottom. I don't use any filtering techniques or anything like that. I just let gravity do it. So I've got a decanter, which is just a glass container, really. You know, some people have got them if they drink whiskies. Now, you might be able to see it, but if you watch carefully, there'll be like a roll of sediment that's going to start moving towards the lip of the bottle eventually from the bottom there. And that is what we're trying to avoid, because it is basically yeast and other crud. There you go, look. And we leave behind a little bit, but come back to that in a day or so and it will have settled again, and you can try again to maybe get yourself another glass of it. Now I do have a glass to pour some mead in. So this is what's named the Rainbow Mead, and it uses a tea blend called Rainbow Tea. It's got Earl Grey tea, roses, bergamot, cornflower, sunflower petals, and saffron in. And it's a really unique blend, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This is 14%, and it was bottled on the 30th of last month, pageantly. So it's ready to drink, and let's see how it's tasting. Hello Tyler, hello Zenaid. How are you guys doing? Just pouring some mead, which is wine made with honey. No, I can't give a shout out to your friend. He sounds like a bit of a knobhead, to be fair. But nice try, Marco. Nice try, mate. You've got to try, haven't you? I suppose you really do have to try. But I will give a shout out to Marco. Well done, lad. Yeah, it's not my first rodeo, mate. I've seen many of those videos where people get them to say it over tannoys and, yeah, shouting orders at shops and stuff like that. Did he do what? No idea, mate. No idea. So is anybody partaking in home brewing currently? Anybody brewing their own beers, meads, ciders, wines, anything like that? I once brewed a beverage that was actually banned in Finland. It was called Kilju, or Kill You, but it's spelt Kilju, and it was actually banned because it was just sending everybody doolally. It was literally just sugar wine. So it was wine made with just sugar. So they add sugar to water, throw in some yeast, it ferments, and you're left with alcoholic water, basically. I can't imagine it was very nice. When I tried to brew it, I screwed it up a little bit. And it wasn't all that good. And I ended up trying to put some berries in it as well, and it still turned out a bit naff. Not whiskey. I know it's in a whiskey glass, but it is not whiskey. It is mead. Honey wine. and my stomach's gurgling at me. So, is anybody got a beer on the go, or a glass of wine, or anything like that? What's everyone drinking this weekend? Me, I am on homebrew. That's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking beverages that I've made myself, and it costs a fraction of the price for what you'd pay in the shop. So I drink craft beer mainly. You can pay £5 for one tin of craft beer, but I can brew. I would say the same. I wouldn't say the same beer, but something of close quality for literally £1, and it's great fun while you're doing it as well. But the carbonation on that is good. I'm quite pleased with that. Taste wise, yeah, it's exactly how I wanted it to be. Now, whilst brewing this one, I did actually screw up. I can only buy hops in bags of 50 grams at a time. So instead of buying 50 grams for this recipe, that I only needed 5 grams of the hops, I decided to just to use up some old hops and try and find a hops that was a good substitute for it. And it worked. It worked really, really well. But while I was doing the milling of the grain, which is crushing the grain to expose the starchy powder inside, it caused a bit of a problem, because one of the bolts on the hopper, it came off. It went into the wheels that were grinding the grain down, and it launched a load of the grain all over the kitchen, unfortunately. So I then had to add some other grain that was that I had laying around from another brew, to sort of just kind of mask the fact that I'd lost a load of the potential sugars that I would have got out of it when brewing that beer. But it did turn out okay. I mean, it's meant to be cloudy. It is a cloudy style, or hazy is what we call it. New England IPA. And yep, it was rather good. This is actually a British brewery collaborating with a homebrew store. So Neon Raptor's the name of the brewery, and they make absolutely smashing beers. They are so good. And that's in Nottingham, my local town. So if you're ever in Nottingham, go find Neon Raptor's tap room. It's bloody brilliant. And they collaborated with the place where I buy all my grains from when I'm brewing beers. Hops, grains, you name it, they sell all sorts. Brewing equipment, and that's from Brew Day Supplies. And they did a collaboration, like I say, where the brewery allowed them to publish a recipe of their beer, and that's what this is. This is called Bash V2, which is their version 2 of it. They've got another Bash one, which is a pale ale. This is the New England IPA, which is, I have to say, is my favourite type of beer. It really is. I mean, I can't actually remember what the ABV on that is. I didn't write it on this bottle for some reason. I want to say around 6%, but it might be a little bit lower, or it could even possibly be higher. 6.9 actually, because I labelled them all up earlier on. They've gone into where I store my beer, which is in a cooler area, and it will just sit there now for 3 weeks. I normally give it, once it's bottled, I give it a week to carbonate in a warm environment, and then I give it 3 weeks minimum in a cooler environment, just to mature slightly and get tasting better. But yeah, that's it. That is all of the update, and I'll be back next weekend with quite possibly another bottle of mead to open. In fact, next weekend I'm going to be sampling a meaderies mead, called Afon Mel, AFON, and then MEL. So yeah, I'm going to be trying one of theirs. I bought it a while back, but I just keep forgetting to open it, and I keep opening my own mead instead of that one. But yeah, I might be on drinking that, and I've also got the smoked porter. That's ready now. I had one of those last night. That was really good, really, really good. Like, I couldn't actually quite believe how good it was. It probably could do with being a bit more sweet, but it was very, very nice. So yeah, thanks for joining, everyone who's joined, and I shall see you all later.